Devastating floods in KwaZulu-Natal have claimed over 400 lives and left many others displaced. Several communities are still without water after infrastructure was also damaged. The province predicts that restoring the systems will take up to a month. For more on what the process of restoring water supply to communities will look like, we're joined by Communications Director at the Department of Water and Sanitation, Sputnik Ratau. Sputnik, thank you so much for your time and thank you for joining us. We've heard the predictions that it will take likely close to up to a month to restore water supply to communities. Take us through the extent of the damage in the water infrastructure in KZN.
Good morning and thank you so much for the opportunity. Yes, there is quite a huge amount of damage that has happened to some of the infrastructure that is critical for water supply to most of eThekwini as well as other regions, including Ilembe and Ugu. But we are looking at these five critical areas that have been affected, which is the inner west region, the outer west region, the central region, the north region, as well as the south. And they are at different levels working towards restoration. When we look at the inner west region, the supply there has improved to about 63% from 30 as at yesterday. And obviously between yesterday and today, some more work is continuing. While the outer west has also improved from 45 to 60% of access. And the central region is almost similar from 45 to 50. And the south region is the one that is still struggling because it is only at 20% at the moment, while the north region is at about 42%, which is not that great as well. But obviously this is work in progress. Yes, you are correct. It is going to take some time. Whether the time limit of 6 months is correct is something that can be determined as assessments continue. And obviously this urgent work is also underway.
Now the work that lies ahead, Sputnik, is it a combination of merely repairing existing or old infrastructure as well as the laying of new infrastructure to actually improve access to water to some of these communities? Because in many of the reports that we've been seeing, while there's been damage as a result of the floods, some of the communities were already struggling to access something as basic as water.
You know, the floods and the damage have had very negative impacts on all of us. In one way, it is the worst thing that could have happened. But on the other side, it will also help us that with those pipelines and pump stations that may already have been of an older age, then there would be an opportunity to actually replace those and refurbish them to a point of adding on to their longevity. So it is not the best time for us to be able to do that in terms of the kind of disaster that has happened. But yes, it is going to be a combination of both replacement and refurbishment. When you look at some of the damage that speaks to what has happened to the pipelines of Umgeni water, for instance, and in the area of KwaZulu-Natal, where the pipe has actually been dug out of the ground completely, obviously that is going to imply that a lot more work is going to be needed there, because that is those are big pipelines, those are big pipes. But the pipeline as well is quite a long distance. So it is a combination of both, but that is going to be work that has got to be done.
There does seem to be concern as well, Sputnik, just in terms of actually locating some of these pipes. I mean, we've talked already about the extensive damage as a result of the flooding. There's been a lot of movement just in terms of movable property, shifting things, breaking things, etc. And so there does seem to be a concern whether or not a city like eThekwini would in fact be able to locate a number of these pipes. Is there a system or a plan that's been devised to try and expedite the process of locating some of these pipes as well?
Yes, that is part of the process that is underway. From the Department of Water and Sanitation, for instance, there is a capacity that has been deployed to the area from head office, from your civil engineers, from your scientists, from your cross section of disciplines. And these form part of what Minister has set up as the war room that is looking at the water and sanitation devastation that has happened. That meets on a daily basis, because those assessments and work that is underway is a daily and hourly exercise. So on a daily basis, there is update to the work that is being done. There is preparation right now that is underway to actually bring the minister and the ministry as a whole up to date in the morning, in the early hours of tomorrow morning, to be able to make sure that we are all in step. And Minister will also be able to inform, the nation as to what is at play at that time. So we are working around the clock together with Umgeni Water, together with eThekwini Metro, and we do have a plan that is rolling out. Obviously, that plan will evolve as things work towards restoring services and ensuring that people are able to get back to a semblance of where we were before the disaster happened.
Certainly, Sputnik. Very quickly, there are also concerns just about the health of residents being exposed to potentially to some or other form of water disease because of the amount of pollution that may have in fact be already a problem in the area. Are there any talks or plans of deploying water tankers to communities so that they don't have to rely on water that hasn't necessarily been filtrated?
Yes, that is something that was one of the first things that had to happen immediately after the disaster. And between the Department of Water and Sanitation, the Department of COCTA, both national and provincial, as well as the affected municipalities, there is an extra 190 tankers that have been deployed to the different areas. But one of the things that we also have to keep in mind is that because of the devastation to the road network as well, we might be having, challenges of delivering all the time to all the communities. But that is work, obviously, that will be alleviated. Those are challenges that will be alleviated as we also repair the road network and so on. We do have the concern around the Umbilo wastewater treatment works that has been devastated by the disaster. But what we are encouraging, what we would like to encourage communities to do is to avoid, activities around water. Let us not also, make use of those areas, particularly that may be affected, because one of the things that we have to do is to avoid waterborne diseases, escalating or even beginning as a result of this pollution that you are referring to.
Sputnik, thank you so much. We are going to leave it there. That is Director of Communications at the Department of Water and Sanitation, Sputnik Ratau, just giving us a quick update there on the state of water infrastructure in KZN as efforts are already underway towards refurbishing and rebuilding those damaged water pipes. Now,